Welcome back again to another video. It's your boy Boss Enosh. Finally back recording because my charger gave out for my laptop, so I had to get a new one, and that took a couple days, so I didn't get to record nothing yesterday or the day before. Luckily, I already had some videos recorded. I just had to edit. So we back on it. Kanye West has been saying a lot of crazy stuff, bruh. Well, is it really that crazy? Depends on who you ask. And today I seen that he is on Piers Morgan. We already know him. If you've been watching this channel for the last couple weeks, we know who Piers Morgan is. So this should be pretty interesting. It's not the full thing. He just dropped a clip. So we better jump in and see what he had to say. It says he apologized. So it's interesting. You know, he said what he said. He got kicked out by JP Morgan. Everyone is calling for his, cancellation. The George Floyd's baby mama is trying to sue him for $250 million, which is not gonna it's not going nowhere. And now if he's apologizing, we're gonna see.
Accountability to my pain. You're being a Karen.
I'm talking about. I'm not a Karen.
To the pain.
I'm not a Karen, and I'm not going to cancel you, and I'm not going to uncensor you. I'm simply going to challenge you on what you're saying. I think you don't understand the pain that you've been causing with some of these comments, and I think that one in particular, I can understand.
Oh my God! God forbid, one comment could cause people to feel any of the pain that my people have went through for years. Even like the blacks being ushered to the left during the civil rights movement. No one has cared about black people.
All right.
No one is.
Let me say, I agree that the racism against black people has been utterly deplorable, shameful, unacceptable, and thank God the world is beginning to move to a better place about the way it is treated.
Okay. Is it though? Is it moving to a better place? On the surface, yeah, we're all different. Yeah, we all gotta be accepting. Yeah, but black people are in the worst spot we've been in since slavery. You know what I mean? At least black people in America. Now, not every black person in America is freaking poor or whatever, but if you look at every level of society, the bottom of the ringer is black people. When it comes to education, when it comes to crime, when it comes to economics, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to culture, we're at the bottom. It's not, well, let me take it back about culture, because, we making everything popular and shit, you know what I'm saying? We be dancing and singing and rapping and playing ball all day long, entertaining these crackers all day long, entertaining the rest of the world, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes back to the house, the home, we are at the bottom. And that's for multiple different reasons, you know what I'm saying? It's for multiple different reasons. We didn't all start at the same place. They always say pick yourself up by your bootstraps, but a lot of motherfuckers didn't even have no boots. You know what I mean? So you have to understand that. When we talk about these things, these issues with black people, you gotta understand that the starting point that we was at was all the way back there. Meanwhile, people was already up here. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I don't like with a lot of these liberals, a lot of these celebrities, a lot of these Hollywood types, they don't accept. Matter of fact, they don't accept that the problems with black people are in our community. They would rather point the fingers at white people and everybody else and promote the degeneracy that's in our community, that's in our culture. You know what I'm saying? They would rather promote that. And because they make money off of it. And certain people at the top make money off of it. Certain white people. A lot of people, to be honest. But that's the history of the world, bro. If you look at many different cases, bro, that's the history of the world. Motherfuckers in power taking advantage of the black people at the bottom. When it comes to Haiti, when it comes to a lot of places in Africa, like, it just, I don't know what it is, bro. Something strange, bro.
Black people like you. However, it's one form of racism, doesn't justify.
It's almost in a better place.
Well, one form of racism doesn't justify another.
It's not a better place.
I'm not cutting you off. I'm finishing my sentence so you can respond. One form of racism. It is racism when you say I'm going deaf for Jewish people.
I was in a position where
Yeah, we definitely we might have to react to this whole thing, to be honest. Because some of the stuff Kanye was saying, like when it comes to a lot of like the Jewish stuff and all that, I've seen, like conspiracy theory type of things. I've seen certain people have certain opinions and stuff, but I never really thought too much about it. Like I didn't really, I didn't know too much about that stuff. And I still don't. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm kind of more interested in reading and reading some books and just doing research and trying to understand a lot of these sentiments, coming up. And I've seen before, like, oh, the stereotype that Jewish people are good with money, and then people, they get offended by that. And to me, as a black person, I'm like, yo, why would somebody get mad about saying, having stereotype that you good with money? Because compared to black people, I wish black people had that stereotype. You know what I'm saying? Instead, we just get stereotyped as we fucking crazy animal criminals and murderers. You know what I'm saying? Degenerates. That's what our stereotype is. Thugs. So, I coming from that lens, and I think Kanye said something in another clip where it's like, he's jealous that black people aren't in that position. So I always thought that was interesting. Same thing with Asians. Asians are stereotyped as meek and smart, and they stick together and build up the community. And it makes you wonder: is every stereotype bad? Is a stereotype a false narrative, or is it just a reflection off of things that we see in society? You know what I mean? Now that's a slippery slope, but it's something that we gotta come to terms with, something that we gotta talk about. You know what I mean? Because if you look at the test scores, you look at the data, Asian people, for example, they score the highest. They be, when it comes to grades and education, they be the highest. You know what I'm saying? Economically, I think the dollar stays in Asian hands the most. I could be wrong, but it stays in black hands the least, the least amount. So I don't know. We got to be more open-minded when we think about these things, bro.
I've been hurt, and this is the way I had the right to express myself. The point of this interview is for you to question me, and then for me to answer and say, okay, even though the same rules are not applied to my people, if a person with a gun or drugs is pulled over and has three other people in the car, they're all going to jail. I'm not going to apply that to Jewish people for the sake of this conversation. Isn't that what you wanted? But you know what you did? You tried to civil rights me. You tried to pull me back to a week ago, but we're here today. There's been plenty of conversations and commentary since that, but you want me to go back to 1960.
No.
You want me to go back to 7 days ago.
All right, let me jump in. Here's what I want you to do.
Let's run that back real quick.
Conversations and commentary since that, but you want me to go back to 1960.
No.
You want me to go back to 7 days ago.
All right, let me jump in. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to reflect.
Okay, so have we grown? Have we grown?
Here's how we grow. Yeah, here's how we grow. I want you to reflect.
No, have we grown?
Have
we grown? You're not in charge of my growth. You're not in charge of my growth, Chris.
Okay, let me phrase it like this. I'm about to.
Did you just call him Chris?
Suggest to you how you may grow if you choose to grow this way, and you can ignore me. You can ignore me.
Pierce, how much money are you worth?
Not as much as you, sadly.
Exactly. So take my advice. Maybe you'll get richer.
I would love to take your business.
Yo, Kanye love doing that shit, bro. That's why certain shit's like, yo, bro, is this about money or is it about, you know what I'm saying? Money is not always the bottom line, how you determine what somebody can say to you, you know what I'm saying? Now, do I think if Kanye or Piers Morgan, who has something more meaningful to say? Probably Kanye. But it's like, bro, you can't always fall back on that. Like, that's kind of just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very narcissistic. Like, because pretty much what he's saying is pretty much what I was getting on DJ Academics for. I got more money than you. I got more money than you. The delivery is different. The situation, the context is different. But it's still that same type of mindset. Like, oh, I'm worth more than you. Maybe you should listen to me. Like, okay, yeah, I just don't really like shit like that too much. You know what I'm saying? Grandstanding about your money, bro.
Why would I listen to you?
Well, why do you hear what my advice is? And then...
Like, there's more value in somebody than how much money they got, bro. That's like a toxic female way of thinking. Like, oh, how much money they got? You know what I'm saying?
Work out if I'm wrong. Can we do that deal?
Well, the thing is, you haven't given me any credit or a moment of reflection for the comparison that I made, the brilliant, if I do say so myself, comparison that I made to the cops pulling over one black person and locking everyone up.
I understand what you're saying.
And my tweet having issues. Wait a second, I wasn't done with the sentence. My tweet referring to all Jewish people, and I said, for the sake of this conversation, I will refer to the business people who have destroyed me and my people and my fellow creatives. But you didn't even accept that I gave you that. You tried to push me back into 1960.
No, I didn't.
You tried to push me back into last week.
No, I didn't.
Okay, do you accept that example that I gave you?
I understand completely the example you gave me. I think all racism is wrong.
So I feel that we've grown.
I would like you to reflect.
I feel that we've grown.
If
you feel we've grown?
If you've now changed what you wanted to say originally, my question for you is, do you now regret saying DEFCON 3 on Jewish people? Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not. You know,
yo, why did they... See, look, why did they title this Kanye West apologized for anti-Semitic tweet? And then he didn't apologize. Yo, this nigga funny, bruh. No, I do not. So something that's so interesting to me is that to me at least, it seemed obvious that he was referring to not Jewish people as a whole, but a lot of the executives in a lot of these big companies, a lot of these, like with the music industry, for example, a lot of these big top music industry people are Jewish people. Their lawyers are Jewish, their accountants are Jewish. Not every single one, obviously, but a lot of the ones in high places, they work together. And, you know, if he didn't say Jews, if he just said white people, motherfuckers wouldn't have gotten that mad about that shit. Everyone would have accepted it. Yeah, white people, yeah. White people, big bad white people, yeah. Evil, yeah. But those white people are Jewish people. Some of them. So to me, it's obvious he was referring to those people up top, the powers that be. Not your average Jewish person that lives down the street from you. You know what I'm saying? But what kind of shows you is that if you even so much as mention the powers that be, they quit. They quit to get your ass, boy. What did you say? You know what I'm saying? And it's the same. I feel like it's the same people that's behind cancel culture. If you're a big person, someone that's not me, you know, it's a big celebrity, big artist, whatever, whose brand was like squeaky clean or like in the middle, neutral, wasn't picking a side or whatever, and he says something against, let's say, LGBTQ, then people come out full force to get you. And who be the people that's backing them? You know what I'm saying? Them crackers, white people with bread, the ones up top, the powers that be, because it don't fit their narrative, and you potentially costing them money. You know what I'm saying? That's why they blackballed the baby, and I feel like they did something to him, bro. He ain't been the same since, but I don't know that man, so I don't know.
I will say I'm sorry for the people that are hurt with the DEFCON, the confusion that I call. I feel like I cause hurt and confusion, and I'm sorry for the families of the people that had nothing to do with the trauma that I had been through. And that I use my platform where you say hurt people, and I was hurt. Yeah.
It's an uncensored interview. You said something.
Okay, so he did apologize then to like the regular people that he wasn't referring to. The DEFCON 3 thing, I do wonder, like, what does that mean? Like, you're ready for defense, you know what I'm saying? And instead of spelling deaf how he's supposed to with DEFCON, he spelled it as DEATH, you know what I'm saying? Which of course was misconstrued by certain people on the left or liberals or progressives or whatever, as in deaf to all. I should probably bleep that because they're gonna think I mean that. And so I think, you know, with him, a lot of times he says something, but he don't say it in the best way. So people who already are trying to misrepresent what you're saying, you're making it easier for them. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's really important to be clear and concise. That's why when I do these videos, when I'm, you know, this is a very loose format, a very relaxed format. You see, I'm just sitting in my room. It's kind of like you're in my room with me, just chopping it up. No such shit. I still try to be mindful of what I'm saying, because I want to be accurate in what I think and what I feel, and open to change. If I change my mind or something, I'm gonna say it. You know what I'm saying? You're watching the evolution of a person live.
Something which you've now wished you hadn't said, and you've apologized. I actually think that says a lot about you, right? That shows you've got that ability to be self-aware, to understand when you cross a line. I think someone like you, with all your energy and creativity and your passion, you're gonna say stuff.
It is crazy that the bank, JP Morgan, banned him. I ain't never seen a bank ban somebody for, you know, racism against black people. But of course not, because who runs those organizations? Not black people. And if there are any black people at the top, there's usually someone behind them that's pulling their strings. You dig what I'm saying?
the way that you talk constantly and in such an extraordinary manner, you're going to trip up. You're going to say things the wrong way. I don't think there's anything wrong in when you do that, doing what you just did and saying, look, I'm sorry, I crossed a line, I apologize.
I want to say that it's wrong to hold an apology hostage, and I got to let go of that and free myself of the trauma and say, look, I'm just going to give it all up to God right now and say to those families that are hurt, I really want to give you guys a big hug, and I want to I say I'm sorry for hurting you with my comments, and I want to word it in not in like a political way, but in a presidential way, which means what I knew a president to be when I was growing up.
Yeah, we're definitely going to watch that full thing when it come out, cause that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I haven't done too much long form stuff like that, like the hour-long plus videos, because that's too much, bro. That's too much time and effort, and I'm not gonna get much back from it just yet. I need to get the supporter base up. You feel me? But hey, man, that was another video. Very interesting. Let me know in the comments what you think about Kanye and everything that's been going on. And this is probably not the last of it, to be honest. We're in a stage of life where a lot of things are, I feel a lot of mindsets are beginning to unravel themselves. They're beginning to come into the light. I advocate for y'all to keep your minds open and stay aware, because something is happening. Okay, something's happening, and it's been happening for a while. Y'all stay safe. Like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Peace out.